Let's begin with the clinical vignette. A 60-year-old man, John, comes for dermatology visit due to blisters on skin. On examination, blisters are firm, stable, and Nikolsky sign is absent. Skin biopsy show that blister contain eosinophils. Which of the following epithelial cell junction are damaged in this disease? Now I'm going to discuss about the different types of the epithelial cell junction. So basically this is the apical side of the cell and this is the basal side of the cell. So this is the basement membrane. So the first junction is the tight junction. So the tight junction is basically the junction that is made up of the cluden and occludin protein. So it is basically this junction prevent the paracellular movement, paracellular movement of the solutes. Next one is the adherence junction. So this one. So this one is the adherence junction. So adherence junction forms the belt that connect the cytoskeleton of the different cells through the actin, and this actin is connected to the another cell through the cadherin protein. So this is a calcium dependent protein. So both of the tight junction and adherence junction are connected to another cells through actin microfilaments. Actin microfilaments. The loss of this E-cadherin promote metastasis. So this is a high yield stuff. So the loss of E-cadherin promote metastasis. So the next is the desmosome. So this desmosome is connected through the intermediate filament, while the tight junction and adherence junction are connected to another cell through the actin microfilament. This is the high yield stuff. So the damage to the desmosome take place in a disease known as damage to this structure in Pemphigus, Pemphigus vulgaris. So the Pemphigus vulgaris is basically the autoimmune disorder in which the desmoglein 1 and 3 are damaged due to the autoantibodies, and these two desmoglein 1 are the essential component of the desmosome. The next is the gap junction. So the gap junction is basically the channel protein that is made of the connexin, and it permits the electrical and chemical communication between the cells. Hemidesmosome is basically does not connect the cell to another cell. It connects the cell to the basement membrane. So hemidesmosome is basically is not a real junction. So so hemidesmosome basically consists of the integrin. Integrin is a membrane protein that maintain the integrity of the basolateral membrane by binding to this collagen through the fibronectin and laminin. So the clinical point of view of the hemidesmosome is a bullous pemphigoid. So what happened in this disease? The auto antibodies against hemidesmosome lead to this disorder. So now I'm going to discuss about the super high yield stuff, that is a Bullous pemphigoid and Pemphigus vulgaris. So in case of the Bullous pemphigoid, it is basically IgG antibodies against hemidesmosome, while in case of the Pemphigus vulgaris, IgG antibodies against desmoglein 3 and 1, that is a component of the desmosome. So both of disease takes place in older adults, and both of these diseases are example of the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. So the gross morphology of the Pemphigus vulgaris is a flaccid intraepidermal bulla. These are so caused by acantholysis, separation of the keratinocytes, row of the tombstone on HE stain, oral mucosa is involved in case of the Pemphigus vulgaris. So, in case of the bullous pemphigoid, tense blisters that are the containing eosinophils and oral mucosa is spared. Nikolsky sign is basically uh, absent in the bullous pemphigoid, while in case of the Pemphigus vulgaris, it is present. So the Nikolsky sign is basically the sign that positive in the pemphigus vulgaris. But what happened in the top layer of the skin can be removed. Top layer of the skin can be removed by by the rubbing or lateral rubbing, leaving the most moist base that is characteristically positive in the pemphigus vulgaris. While the immunofluorescence study of Pemphigus vulgaris show the reticular pattern. This is a reticular pattern that present in the Pemphigus vulgaris. While in case of the Bullous pemphigoid, there is a linear pattern. So this is a linear pattern that present in the Bullous pemphigoids. The right answer of this clinical when it is hemidesmosome, because Nikolsky sign is a negative